All right, Nick, let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. This is a team going through a pretty big makeover this offseason. Obviously, the head coaching change is making a lot of noise. Everybody wants to know what are they going to do at the quarterback position. There's some noise there, but there's a move that was made by the Falcons that I think really goes under the radar, but true Falcons fans will know this has been kind of a point of contention at many points during the year, and I think this is something that could be a big move for the Falcons going forward. Let's go into the article and we can talk about it on the other side. This, of course, is from over on NBC Sports. It says Falcon CEO Rich McKay, whose roles with the team over 2 decades have shifted and changed, will undergo another adjustment to his duties, at least in name. Owner Arthur Blank announced on Thursday night that McKay will exit day to day football operations with the team. The same thing occurred with the hiring of GM Thomas Dimitroff and coach Mike Smith in 2008, when McKay's primary duties became working on the construction of the team's current stadium. After the stadium was finished, McKay gradually re entered football operations. Most recently, both head coach and general manager reported to McKay. Now, McKay will exit the football side and return to the business side while also taking control of Blank's MLS team. Now, Nick, this is one point of contention we saw, and I know that Bill Belichick isn't going to be coming to the Atlanta Falcons, but there was a point brought up in there about potentially that he wanted more control of this team, and I think there was an issue that arose. McKay had a lot of control, and McKay was the guy that people came to, reported to, and I feel after, a little bit of internal analysis on that situation, for better or for worse, they decided to move McKay out of that role, and I think that's going to be very intriguing going forward through this season. So, as we said, he's been in and out of this role in the past, but I think it is going to do the Atlanta Falcons some good with a breath of fresh air and have these guys that are coming into power of this team to truly be in power of this team, not have to report to somebody that is higher up than them. Curious what your thoughts are on this one, Nick. But Falcons fans, let us know in the comments below. What do you think about McKay moving from the football operation, the day-to-day football duties of this team? You think it's a good move? You think it's a bad move? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest move by the Falcons?
So first of all, my day-to-day job, I live in corporate America. I work in corporate America, and this is a seismic change. Anyone who spent a lot of time working in corporate environments, knowing a move like this is not a small thing. It's a big deal. Basically, because of this move, Rich McKay, who was basically the intermediary between the general manager and head coach to Arthur Blank, has been removed completely from that organizational tree. What that means is that Rich McKay had basically final say in every football decision before it got to Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank is now basically saying with this, I no longer trust Rich McKay, or I don't think Rich McKay is the right guy for the role in terms of having final say in football operations. According to reports, Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris will now report directly to the owner, Arthur Blank. And that should allow Rich McKay to essentially have no authority over general management decisions, roster decisions, direction of the football team, hiring assistants, big time trades, draft picks, things like that. Rich McKay was heavily involved with, and there's a lot of moves he made that were pretty good, and there was a lot that deserved a lot of criticism. I think Rich McKay is a smart guy who's been around the football world a lot, but it's clear based on the direction the Atlanta Falcons have gone for the last 5, 6, 7 years or so that him as the head of football operations was not working. So credit Arthur Blank for making a significant change and promoting, right? This is a promotion for Terry Fontenot, and technically, in my mind, a promotion for new head coach Raheem Morris as well, to report directly to the owner. That is obviously the second highest position you could be in a company. And I've worked in corporate America enough. When you see those things happen, that means the ownership, the top leadership, Arthur Blank in this case, is willing to hand over the success of the Atlanta Falcons to Terry Fontenot and to Raheem Morris. The higher up you go in the organizational chart in corporate America, that's more authority, that's more responsibility, that's more direct ownership for your activities. The more people that are layered above you, that's basically the ownership saying, hey, listen, you need help, right? You need other managers, you need other presidents and CEOs to help make the tough decisions for you. Arthur Blank said, Rich McKay, not getting it done. We're moving him away from football operations, and we're turning it over to Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris. I think it's a change that's needed because I think Rich McKay has struggled. And look, I think Terry Fontenot is a really smart GM. I think he's underrated. We'll see how Raheem Morris does as a head coach. We'll see. Obviously, he's a lot of great experience as a defensive guy. We'll see who he hires as offensive coordinator, the entire offensive staff, things like that. But I think putting all the authority in terms of football decision making in the hands of a very capable Terry Fontenot and giving Raheem Morris a lot of responsibility, I think is a smart move by the Atlanta Falcons. And I think we'll see big improvements on the field because of it.
Yeah, Nate, and it was much needed. Just the whole overhaul of the Falcons front office, getting guys shifted around, getting a new head coach into place. The Falcons haven't been themselves since about like 2017 sometime. This is a team that's kind of been, a fall from grace. This used to be a pretty strong team. You think of Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Roddy White years. This was a lot of offensive firepower. Even going back, Michael Vick had this team rolling for a while here. This is a true Super Bowl contender. Nothing has been said of that sort about the Falcons for a very long time. So I think hopefully this change at the top end, the change at the head coach position of the Atlanta Falcons will help get the ball rolling, get them making smarter draft decisions, some smarter free agent decisions, and getting things moving in the right direction for this Atlanta Falcons team. And I think the move of McKay will take a lot of pressure off of guys like Fontenot if there wasn't an amicable relationship between them. Now they report directly to Blank. I feel like that's a more direct, you don't have to talk through an intermediary guy. Because words can get mixed, just things can get lost in translation in that move. So I think this is overall a really good move for the Atlanta Falcons.
And again, for those of you, and look, I've spent a lot of time in corporate America. It's my day-to-day job, right? This is huge because there's a lot of times, and anyone who's worked in those environments understand, you bring things up with your boss. You've got a great idea. You go to your boss and say, hey, we should change. We should make this change. We should make this move in our company. This will help us cut cost or grow revenue or whatever it may be. And then if your boss, the old Rich McKay, is like, I don't really want to do that idea. I don't think it benefits me personally. Then the idea disappears and the company suffers because of it. That literally happens every single day, a million times over in corporate America. It just the way the system is structured, that's bound to happen. You literally need total buy-in at every single level of the managerial chain for anything positive to work its way to the top and then to be implemented. Rich McKay was a stopping point, was a choke point in that managerial chain for the football operations. And if at any time there was disagreement between Fontenot and McKay, and Fontenot, a smart guy, didn't get McKay to get on board with it, that idea wouldn't be implemented. And I think that's hurt the Atlanta Falcons. And we've seen it with a lot of high-level decisions over the past, like you said, the last decade or so. 2017, I think, is the last time I think of them being a really good franchise. So again, this is a big move because it puts the football people right up at the top of the organization. That smart leadership, credit to Arthur Blank. And like I said, I think we'll see some dividends on the field in 2024 and beyond because of it.